77 WABC. You're in the Saturday Cafe with Laura Smith. And since it's sort of the end of the year wind down here, I know that a lot of people are going through their personal life inventory and taking a check and looking at it twice and wondering, you know, what do I need to do to make a 2015 my best year yet? What do I want to do? Who do I want to become? What steps do I want to take? And, you know, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all have our own personal life coach to guide us the way? Well, I'm grateful to say that somebody who came on my show when this show first started 2 years ago is back again 2 years later, a wonderful life coach and author of a brand new book called Rescue Your Life, 30 Days Between You and a Brand New You. And probably something we would all love to do in 30 days or less. Darryl Mobley, thank you so much for joining the show today.
Laura, thank you. I'm thrilled to be on with you again.
Yes. Well, yeah, as I said, it's been 2 years, and that you were on with me when the show first began. A lot has happened, but the idea, the concept of turning your life around or making big steps and strides within 30 days is very appealing to me, and I'm sure it is for a lot of other people because, you know, we don't want to wait years to make our lives better. So tell us about Rescue Your Life, your new book. It sounds absolutely great.
Sure thing. It really is the result of 20 or so years of being a life coach to people who've gone from mediocre to massive success, who've changed their lives, who've improved their relationships, improved their health, made millions and even billions. It is a result of all that learning from all these years, 20 years of working with people from all across the world, male and female, rich, not quite rich, professional athletes, politicians, everything, and boiling down what has been 20-plus years of life coaching into a series of steps, 30 straight days that can change anyone from where they are to a far better place.
But why is it 30 days? Isn't it more of an inside job? You just have to make some sort of interchanges and decisions and commitments. Is it really something you can put a time frame on?
Well, yes, you can, and here's why. The truth is that everything we do, or every outcome we get, is a result of our habits. What it takes is about, in my experience, about 30 days of repetition before something becomes you. If I tell you something right now, if I say, Laura, run a marathon today, well, you know, you couldn't do that today. It would take you working out over a period of time to be capable of running that marathon. Same thing with changing your life, changing your mindset, changing the distinctions that you pick up on each and every day. We all are just a result of our habits, mental and physical. And in 30 days, following along in my book, in the program that I have with it, you can change your life from where you are to a brand new you.
Okay, and give us some of your tips that are tried and true that have worked for you and some of your many clients you've worked with.
Sure thing. A couple of things. First of all, the first and most important step that you have to take on the way to living what I call your best life is you have to take full and complete responsibility for who you are, for where you are, and for why things are as they are for you. See, only when you take don't blame anyone. Only when you take full responsibility for where you find yourself can you then give yourself the right to go where you want to go. Only then will you move from being a slave to life and on to being a master of your life. So taking that first step, which is taking full and complete responsibility, that frees you then to become great.
I absolutely love that. And for me, that's a little bit of a definition of the difference between, people ask sometimes, what's the difference between a life coach and a therapist? And I would say that it's not that a therapist doesn't make you take responsibility, but therapy often, brings you back to that maybe you are a result of some of your circumstances, whether it's of growing up and whatever. And so I'm not disparaging it and saying that it doesn't also make you take responsibility, but there's a lot of that in it. What I like about the life coaching methodology is that it really, it starts with you and it starts with here and the now. And so what you're saying is taking responsibility for that, whatever it is, whatever your circumstances, not saying that it's outside of you, but within you to be able to create something new. I think that is just really a message for the ages.
Well, you are so right, and the way it makes you feel, I'm sure you feel it. Even I feel it. I feel it now with you speaking about it. As far as your life, I feel stronger inside. I mean, I'm tingling now because of what you said. Because once a person wraps their head around taking full responsibility, and no longer will they blame the ex-wife, the dog, the cat, their mother from 30 years ago, the boss they didn't like, the schooling they did or did not get. Forget all that. Right now, right here, we can do the things to move forward. But I got to have you in the right now, in the right here, and I got to have you feeling like, okay, I'm going to do this. And once that happens, we can do a whole lot of things. I want to touch on one thing, if I may. I think it's critical, and I think it will probably blow the minds of many people who are listening right now. One of the key barriers, one of the strongest barriers to the success of any person would be their friends. The people you have surrounded yourself with, the people you speak with, the people you reference, those folks are largely the barriers to your success. So once you take responsibility, you see, then I'm allowed to speak truth to you. And the truth is that, you cannot soar like an eagle. The old saying, you hang with turkeys. And the old saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I always encourage folks, and I encourage people listening now, dump any friends who are not adding value to your life and are not making you better by their presence. And that is a high bar to get over. Dump any friends. If they're not making you better, if they're not adding value to your life, get out. Because there's no way you can rise. There's no way you can truly become as great as you can become if you cling to things that hold you down. The old crabs in the barrel syndrome. A lot of people have friends, a circle of friends who talk about how bad the economy is, how one of them is living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have a boyfriend. They don't have a girlfriend. Oh, it sucks over here. The man is trying to get up, all that stuff. Well, if you listen to that stuff, it's like programming. It's programming you to think in a way that is limiting, doesn't allow you to really own your space. What I want people, all of my clients, I judge myself by whether or not they win. All my clients know that. If they win meaning they achieve their objective, they reach their goals. And I tell them, I need you all in. I don't need your mind anywhere else. I need you to understand that there are some things that are holding you back, and once you identify them, you must let them go.
It's true. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's not friends. Sometimes it's family. Friends are easy to say, you know what, they're not really serving me anymore. But what do you do when it's a family member that continually is either the negative, sort of the Debbie Downer of the world, or somebody who, assertively brings you down by, dismantling you every time you're with them? The people do have family members like that. What do you do when it's family, Darryl?
Well, let's say it's a mother. How about that? We'll take it right to we'll take it right there with a mother. The fact is that mother or brother or sister or cousin or uncle, the fact is that it takes a very big person, a very strong and secure person, to allow a person they know to rise above them. That it takes a very special type, and most people aren't that special. You see, I'm kind of a blunt, direct life coach, and I'm just telling you, most people, be it your mother or your father, most people aren't strong enough, aren't secure enough to say, you know what, Laura, you are great, and you're going to rise to levels I can't even imagine. I'm going to be part of the wind beneath your wings. I salute you. I celebrate you. Go ahead and do your thing. Most people aren't like that. Most people want you to stay where they are, because if you move on, if you leave them, you're shining the spotlight on their lack of success. They have no excuses then. You see, if you move on and you're like them, well, wait a minute, what happened? So the truth is that if it is a family member, if it's a mother or a father, I always advise, lessen your time around them. If it's anyone else other than mother or father, you can severely lessen your time. Brothers, cousins, aunts. Hey, listen, that's, because we're blood doesn't mean you get to destroy my life. You don't get to bring me down, to cause me to fail because we're blood. We're blood. That's it. Let's move on. Very direct, very blunt. The truth is, if you're going to climb the mountain, every step you take is going to be your own.
Very, very important stuff as we head on into what's going to be a holiday week, and a lot of people surrounded by family. For some people, it's cause for great celebration and joy. For other people, it raises anxiety within them, knowing that they're going to have to deal with a particular family member that always seems to kind of push certain buttons or whatever. It's important stuff to know, but taking responsibility for where you are, and also being the kind of person that you want to have reflected back to you, I think is another good one. I'm so grateful to have you on. Darryl Mobley is a life coach, and he's written a great new book, Rescue Your Life. Rescue Your Life, 30 days between you and a brand new you. People can get it at rescueyourlife.com. We're going to come back and find out just a couple more fabulous tips that'll help you turn around your life. Since we're going into a brand new year, why not start out with a brand new you with great advice from Darryl Mobley? We'll be right back after this. You're in the Saturday Cafe with Laura Smith. Stick around. 77 WABC. You're in the Saturday Cafe with Laura Smith, heading on into what is the end of the year, into a brand new one. And that's kind of the subject for a brand new book by a good friend to the program, someone who joined the cafe with me way back when it first started a couple of years ago. But he's written a new book. His name is Darryl Mobley. Darryl Mobley is a life coach, and he has a new book, Your Life, Rescue Your Life. 30 days between you and a brand new you. Who doesn't want to be brand new? Darryl, tell us a couple of other tips. You said about taking full responsibility for your life is crucial. What are some other tips to creating the success and turning yourself around within what you say is a short month? You can actually see some results in being the you that you want to be.
Sure thing. I think one of the best things to acknowledge is that for the most part, none of us were taught how to create successful lives, how to be successful professionally or personally. Now, sometimes we go to schools and we learn that. Sometimes we deal in the world of hard knocks and we learn how to be successful professionally. But for most people, for example, regarding relationships and family and that sort of thing, who taught you? Who taught you how to do it right? And the fact is that most people don't. And this is why, that's what I've learned in my 20 years of life coaching. Virtually every professional athlete, we know that. Every top executive, every politician, you know what they have? A life coach. Because a life coach, as you said earlier, unlike a therapy, he or she is on your side and is there to help you win. That's what they do. That's their folks. They're not your mother. They don't care how you feel. They don't care about it. All they want to do is help you succeed and win. And that is the one super secret that most achievers don't let regular people know. They don't let them know that there's someone they use to help them win. But every one of them, corporate CEOs, they all have a life coach. And that's key. And what happens is, and my work with all these folks for so many years, which led to this, is that there are secrets that the wealthy, that the successful, and that the happily engaged in life know that if you knew them, you could also be wealthier and successful and happier, preferred personally and professionally. And that led to, that's really amplifies kind of what I do. And I do want everyone, if I may please, I have an absolutely free ebook that talks about this. Free. You don't have to do, you want it, you can have it. Because I love what I do. And it's all about, it tells those secrets, 8 secrets of the wealthy and the successful. And it tells you, here's what they do. Here's how they do it. And you can get that at successabc.com. Successabc.com. It doesn't cost you anything, but I'm telling you, you'll read things in there that make you say, aha, so that's what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you one thing. I'll tell you one big thing, one big secret all super achievers know. In whatever part of your life you want to improve, be it professional, personal, make progress every day. Every day.
No matter what your goal is, whether it's losing weight or writing a book or getting a new job or being closer to your kids, do something every day?
Every day. Don't let a day go by that you're not getting up that mountain, because you're climbing a mountain. Every day, take a step. Eventually, you'll be at the mountaintop. What most people do is they get stuck. And that's most people's problem. They get stuck in a mindset. They get stuck in a way of behaving, a way of thinking, a way of believing. They get stuck in a relationship, stuck in a job. And I tell them, you've got to get unstuck. And there are some questions. I know I'm taking a lot of time here, but I want to tell you, I have to tell everyone out there, there are a few questions. If you think you're stuck, there are a few questions you need to ask yourself. I have a list of them I'll give you, but right now, a couple of questions. Always ask yourself, whatever it is you're trying to get better at, how can I do it differently, smarter, faster? What would I do if I did know what to do? What do I want to accomplish before I leave this life? what kind of relationship would I like to have with my mate? You see, you got to ask those questions that lead to answers that get you unstuck. And if you do that, boy, you can be very successful. You know, if I were to tell people right now things to do, I know people are stuck. That is the number one problem I see out there. The key is you don't have to do it alone. You can get a life coach. You can get a book. You can get my ebook. Whatever you do, take action because we only get one life. One.
Right. Unless you're reincarnated. But then that's a whole other show. But you're right about that. And I love the idea of asking yourself questions. Asking yourself questions, because inevitably you do get answers. But you're right, we don't normally do that. We usually say, why? Like, why me? Or why is this happening to me? But do we say, how can I do this differently? What steps can I take? That's a different kind of question. That's more motivational, and it's more proactive as opposed to, why am I, in this situation? So I love all of this, and I know we don't have enough time to go over all of it, but really, this is fantastic stuff, and you've got the free ebook, but you've also got your brand new book, which is Rescue Your Life, 30 Days Between You and a Brand New You. People can get it at rescueyourlife.com, correct?
That's correct. Rescueyourlife.com. You can go there and get that as well.
rescueyourlife.com. And this is just a wonderful way, especially what a perfect time of the year, Darryl Mobley, for you to be on as we head on into 2015 and really get people thinking about how to really truly create the lives that they want to. And you're right, everybody needs a life coach, whether it's your best friend or it's somebody professional like you. Hey, if somebody wants to reach you personally, do you have an email address or a specific website that will lead people to you?
Yeah, sure thing. They can go to askdarrylmobley.com, and there's a mechanism there to come. Ask Darryl, it's spelled D-A-R-R-Y-L, Mobley, M-O-B-L-E-Y.com. Askdarrylmobley.com, and it'll take you to a form, and you can contact me and contact us. And I love what I do because I have the greatest job in the world, Laura. I get to talk to people about their dreams, their goals, what they want to do. And there's nothing better. I wake up every day happy because every day I'm helping people reach their dreams. And it's just fabulous. Probably just a little less fabulous for me than it is for them reaching their goal. But I love the work that I do. And it excites me. And I just love giving people those little kernels of knowledge they can use to make a very big difference in their lives.
Absolutely. And I've had coffee with you, and let me tell you, it's like one of the most inspirational coffees I've ever had. You really walk the talk. And Darryl Mobley, I'm so grateful for you coming on and giving people a glimpse into what the possibilities are for themselves. Again, get the book. It's Rescue Your Life, 30 Days Between You and a Brand New You. And I think it's just perfect as we head on into the new year. And also, you can reach Darryl Mobley at askdarrylmobley.com. AskDarrylMobley.com if you'd like to see how you can contact him. Darryl, thank you so much for being back on the show.
Laura, thank you. You have a great show, and you do a lot of great stuff for people. I know, I tell you what, your audience is very lucky.
Oh, thank you so much, and a great new year to you. Come back on, and we could continue talking about this forever. So thank you, Darryl Mobley.
Thank you, Laura. Bye-bye now.
All the best to you. You're in the Saturday Cafe with Laura Smith. We'll be back.